Minasan ohayo gozaimasu!
Good afternoon, everyone!
Are you guys ready for the story we're about to share?
If you are, then let's start.
But before that,
Does anyone know what is Shimenawa?
Shinto's throw rope, which is called Shimenawa in Japanese, can be found at sites deemed holy, especially in most Shinto shrines.
It plays an important role dividing space between the sacred area, where gods are enshrined the outside world. Shimenawa is made by twisting dried rice straws together.
now let's proceed to the person behind this story.
Naoko Kumagai is a multi-talented individual with a diverse background. He is a Japanese author, educator, martial artist, and former kickboxer.
Now, we're going to introduce the characters of the story.
Jiro is 4 years old. He is the main character of the story. He is the brother of the one who is narrating this story.
Jiro's mother is a type of mother that doesn't want to give her children to experience a hard time if disciplining them.
Kazuya, Jiro's uncle and brother to either his mother or father, sees himself as a family authority figure. He readily disciplines Jiro according to his own methods, exhibiting confidence even when they clash with his mother's wishes.
Now, let us begin with the story. This is the story I was told. It was August 1973. My brother Jiro was 4, sitting at dinner.
Itadakimasu.
My uncle said, Jiro, pick up an origami, a rice ball, with his hands and mush it in his mouth. Fish and rice on his plate untouched. He stuffed another origami in his mouth. Bits of rice followed.
Jiro-chan!
A warning from my mother. Jiro opened his mouth wide, displayed his tongue covered in tiny bits of rice. Kazuya stood up and roughly pulled Jiro out of his chair.
What are you doing?
My mother asked, getting up. Kazuya went out to the back door, carrying Jiro firmly under his arms. With the other hand, he picked up a circle of rope hanging on the fence by the shed. In the yard was a large oak tree with heavy, twisted branches. He wrapped the rope around my brother once, then pushed him into the trunk of oak, winding the rope around and around.
He must need to learn to eat his dinner properly.
My uncle tied a thick knot at the very end.
He needs to learn to be a man.
My mother was shouting at my uncle. Jiro was screaming, the sound flooding the sky. Kazuya went back into the house, relaxed and entitled as if he had just finished a long day's work. No one remembers the rest. My mother never forgave my uncle. My father wasn't there. Jiro can't recall any of it. He jokes that the incident is possibly the reason he always intuitively eats everything on his plate. Now this is the end of the story.
The story talks about how they discipline a child based on their beliefs.
It is titled Shimenawa because in Japan, tying the rice straw with twisted rope is a way to repel from bad spirit. So Kazuya tied Jiro so that his bad manners should be removed. Onigiri is Japanese rice ball made from white rice. It is usually formed into triangular or cylindrical shape and wrapped with nori or seaweed.
The main characters in the story were Jiro and Kazuya along with their mom.
The ones telling the story was Jiro's sibling.
The story setting was in Japan because it is where Shimenawa was originally from. The food that are used are from Japan.
In the story, it shows an Asian family tradition in which they are strict when it comes in table manner etiquette.
So that's the end of our